The Al Rocker Show. The Al Rocker Show.
Thank you for tuning back in to the Al Rocker Show. We got a special guest on the line. Got Jason Dirden. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great, man. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You know, we have so much to talk to you about, but we definitely going to talk about American Soul, which you star in. It's based on the Don Cornelius, and which will debut, the second season will be May 27th, correct?
That's correct. May 27th, Wednesday. Get your popcorn ready.
I know, So let's talk about your character, Gerald Ames. Tell us about the character and who is based on.
Well, it's not based on a particular person in history. It's kind of like an amalgamation of many people in the 70s that Don may have come across in his life. Also, just the time period and what Don may not have been ready for, trying to enter LA in the entertainment scene and start his Soul Train show. So my character is, for lack of a better description, he's a gangster. He's a hustler. I say he's a hustler by nature, a gangster by necessity. He's doing it to survive. And he actually, during the first season, we see him help Don get talent on Soul Train because he runs a nightclub, and he's able to filter the stars, the singers, over to Don and Soul Train, and that's how he got his axe for the first season. This season, we see their relationship get even closer, and now they're business partners. They start a Soul Train club together. Gerald has an office at the Soul Train soundstage now, so they're getting even closer business-wise, which tests their friendship because now Don is beginning to see some things in Gerald's personal life that might threaten Don's business life, and so we're at odds with each other for much of this second season, which creates just wonderful tension, great tension. So that's the character in a nutshell in his journey.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see American Soul is doing well, and as we go into the second season, because I believe the Black community needs to know as much as possible about Don Cornelius because he's a great legend and an icon, and I believe the younger generation doesn't know anything about Don Cornelius and Soul Train.
They don't. I absolutely agree, 100%. It's Don was able to be in entertainment in a time where you didn't know about his personal life unless you wanted to. There was no social media, no cameras with no cell phone cameras to catch him at every turn. And so Don Cornelius was able to keep his personal life private, which is many reasons maybe what led to his personal problems, the suicide, because he kept it so hidden and he only dealt with it himself. He didn't seek out much help outside of himself, and so that may have led to suicide. We don't know, but the great thing about the show is that we are uncovering so much about his personal life, and Tony Cornelius, his son, is an executive producer on it, and so he's been able to share many truthful stories. Now, with television, you do kind of put a little fiction in there just to add to the drama because it's just a formula of television. But much of what we see in Don's personal life is true. Did happen. And I absolutely agree with you. I think this generation now, maybe the only thing they know from dance shows and video shows is TRL, and that's great. That was a great show. But Don Cornelius with Soul Train was, what to the Black community was American Bandstand was to America, and to be able to really understand the history and the legacy that Don created with Soul Train should inspire you and should make you aspire to be something great that will last beyond your existence on this planet. He died 15 years ago, and we're still talking about Soul Train, and people still do the Soul Train lines at weddings.
Not just weddings, a good house party. Somebody's gonna break out. Somebody's gonna break out the Soul Train line. So no, he would definitely live forever. And we as Black Americans and actors as yourself, we got to do everything we can to keep this out front so our generation can know all about this. But I'm excited about it. I can't wait to tune in. But back to your character. What helped you prep for this character?
Oh man, most of all, it's just living life. I say often, people ask me, like with my character on Greenleaf, Spacey Skanks, and now this character and other characters they see me play on stage or on TV. My best school was the barbershop. As actors, you observe life. Part of your job is just to observe life, observe humanity, observe human behavior, even when you're not working. And so these guys came in and out of black barbershops every Saturday. You know what I mean? Hustlers, people with the gift of gab, people that can sell water to a well, and so just kind of tapping into that. And then I have some personal people in my family that I've kind of modeled certain things after. So I picked a little here from my uncle, or a little there from my dad, or a little bit there from Ray Dickey at barbershop, and I just put it together and then filtered it through me, who I am, and how I'm like this character. You just kind of, it's like Legos, just kind of pieces together and create a man. And then just doing the history of the 70s, going past the threads of the 70s and the afros, but really tapping into people's sense of urgency in the 70s, especially black people. What a lot of people don't understand about Soul Train is that it was, on the surface, it was a dance show, but deeper than that, it was a show for us to finally be unapologetically black in front of the world, and we expressed that through dance. We expressed that through what outfit we wore when we were going down the Soul Train line, what song we chose to sing off of our album on Soul Train versus American Bandstand. We were expressing ourselves. So just tapping into the people's urgency and what they were fighting for, and the type of integrity that they had during that time period is very different from 2020. It's just a different kind of mindset. People move differently, and so tapping into that, doing a lot of the history homework of that has really, really helped me create this character. Yeah.
So and you work with a great cast. So are there any cast members that you have that you learned something from, even though you've been acting as long as you have?
Absolutely. I mean, if you aren't learning something from a cast member every day, then you're not really open to be working with them. There's something that you're going to learn from them, either as a person or just the way they approach the work. I think Sinqua Walls, who plays Don Cornelius, has done a great job of really tapping into Don and Don's stillness and Don's fight and what he was fighting against at that time period. He was fighting against Dick Clark, trying to take his show by his show. He was fighting against these huge networks trying to copy Soul Train. So he's really tapped into that. And some of the younger cats in the cast, Christopher and Caitlin, they can sometimes approach the work like they've never been told, don't do that, with a sort of naivete, and that frees them up to express things that I would never think about. So just watching that type of liberated performance and movement. And Iantha, she was actually a trained Alvin Ailey dancer.
Wow.
And to watch her process and bring some of what she learned from Alvin Ailey and just the movement of art into her character has been phenomenal to watch. And Kelly Price, and we all know Kelly Price from just that glorious, powerful voice. But to watch her not leave that voice behind, but also begin to transform into an actress and really emote with just dialogue versus chorus. It's been really wonderful to watch. We have a really, really great, wonderful, giving, warm cast. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Now, as we spoke at the beginning, you grew up in Houston, and your father was a stage actor.
Yes.
Did you know at a young age, watching your father on stage, that you wanted to be in the entertainment industry?
I had no idea. At a young age, when my dad was acting in theater, I had no interest in acting. I was into sports, basketball, baseball, football, you name it, I was doing it. But because he was into acting, and my mom has always been a lover of the arts, we would go see his shows, and we would probably go see his plays a little too young. But I think we grew up in a mature household where we had mature conversations, and our parents knew who their kids were. They wouldn't repeat certain things they weren't supposed to. So being exposed to the art, I was engaged and enjoyed watching it, and of course watching my dad, but I didn't have an interest in doing it until high school when I stopped playing sports, and my mom said, well, you got to do something after school. You can't just sit at home, because she was a teacher as well. So I said, well, let me pick this up. My brother, I have an older brother who's an actor as well, and he was into acting. I said, well, let me just do what he's doing and try it out. And I caught the bug, man. I caught the bug and been doing it ever since.
Yeah. No, I know. You know, once you catch the bug at something, you can't shake it. You can't shake it.
You can't, man. It's just that, you know, it's the feeling of, especially live theater, because that's what I started doing, and you know, that immediate, not necessarily gratification, but immediate response from an audience that you're trying to elicit a response from. Like if you're doing something funny, they laugh. If you're doing something heartfelt, you can see and hear them cry, and that's like, okay, there's some power in this. Like, wow. And as I've gotten older and began to really shape my purpose in the art of storytelling, I began to gain a responsibility and an understanding of what my responsibility is as an artist. And it's not just to elicit a response, but it's also to elicit a thought process, a changing of the way you perceive the world, or mirror the way you perceive the world. So when you leave that theater, or when you turn the channel, or when you leave the movie theater, your DNA is now changed, or you're confirmed with what you're thinking, and you can approach humanity differently, or with more vigor or more integrity. And you just kind of want to uplift and progress society with the art. I hate doing art for the sake of entertainment. You know, anybody can entertain, but can you actually progress the viewer forward in the way he or she moves through society, in the way they treat humanity? And I think that's the real purpose of art, no matter what kind of art you do. You know, if you can tap into that, then you have legacy beyond your existence on this earth, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so philosophical.
No, you're good. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that was well spoken and well put together. You know, out of all the interviews I've done over the years, I've never heard it breaking down that way. So no, congratulations. I mean, I think that the way you said it identifies exactly. I just saw your passion come out in what you just said. And that's what came out. So there's no need to apologize. So that's the actor coming out in you.
You know what? Listen, man. When you say you want to be an actor and you find out the statistics are 95% of the people are unemployed, you got to have some passion to stay with it.
Yes, you do.
Because you don't have money in your pocket to walk with. So.
Man, no, you said a mouthful with that one. But you know, check this. I understand you have a theater background. What is the difference between theater and television?
You know, the biggest difference. Well, I'll start with what's similar about it. From an artistic standpoint and a craft standpoint, the foundation is the same. As an artist, it's character development, it's character relationship. What's the heart of the story? What's your intention? Start with that. From a craft standpoint, between theater and television, you just adjust different ways in which you get those things across, right? So if you're in the theater, you have to reach 500 people, you know, in the theater house, versus if you on television, the audience is where the camera is. So you may be a little smaller. You may make more subtle choices and whatnot. But also, just from a outside looking in, it's that immediate gratification, like I spoke about earlier. Of if I shoot something like we shot American Soul 7 months ago. So you try certain things, you get notes from the directors, from the writers, from the producers, and you try and you get about 6 or 7 shots to do each scene, takes to do each scene. And then you wait for the editors to edit it the way they're going to edit it and tell the story. And then you got to wait another 4 months for it to premiere. So you don't know if your stuff worked. You felt good about it, but you don't know until the audience sees it on television. Whereas in theater, I know that night. And it can change from night to night. You could change your performance. You could change the truth of your performance from night to night in theater. And the audience, it's a give and take. It's a call and response almost with live theater, right? You can feel the energy. So you get, a lot of people say they go to the theater and watch what the actor is giving them. But in truth, the actors are responding really to what the energy the audience is giving them. You know what I mean? So it's a living, breathing kind of life theater is. It's constantly living and constantly changing. It's just depending on how long you do the show. In TV, you do that scene that day and it's done. You can't do it anymore. That's the biggest difference as an artist. And sometimes it's frustrating because you want another shot to do. I'm looking at myself on TV like, oh man, I could have done this differently. But, what's done is done.
What's done is done. Man, very good, very good. So what other things you have working on this? What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, as an artist, you're constantly creating. So I'm actually working on a script. Working on a script that would star myself and my brother and my father, actually. And this unfortunate time right here, this very tough time that we're in right now, has given me the time to work on that. So we've been, having Zoom meetings daily about the script and giving notes and readings and rereading. So once we get out of this and get back to some kind of normal, we can hit the ground running with production with that. But, just constantly trying to create.
That's good. That's good. I think this is, and you said it, with this COVID-19 thing going on, the opportunity, and again, you're in LA, so is it true you guys going to have 3 more months of lockdown?
Yeah, we are. And it's going to be tough on a lot of people, I really understand that, but I also understand that I believe, in my opinion, it's necessary. Everybody just hasn't been behaving the same way and taking the same precautions. So unfortunately, when the city tried to loosen the stay-at-home order by opening certain businesses, or even, I think, the parks and the beaches and whatnot, people went crazy. And from that weekend alone, we had over 1,000 new, confirmed cases. And so it's unfortunate, but with a city this large, it's necessary. It's necessary. Hopefully there's a plan, an economic plan intact that can, help save and provide some security for those that will be in dire economic straits during this 3-month period. I think the unemployment, might be close to being tapped out for the state of California. So, it's tough, man, but I choose life over paying the rent sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't say that in jest. I mean, I think life is the most important thing, priority number one, to get through this. The economy may be great, but how many people are living? I'd rather save as many people as we can and come back from an economic depression versus having economic strength and losing 1 million people.
Yeah.
And that's the dilemma that we deal with. And I just choose life in that scenario. We'll come back. We'll come back from a depression. We'll come back from a recession. We always do. We figure it out. This is a capitalistic country. We always figure out money stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's move to figuring out humanity stuff and health stuff and saving lives. Because I think that's where we lack. And that's where we're behind so many other countries in this world. It's really tapping into the heart of humanity, and that's what's important.
Well, man, I don't know if I just heard your new career after acting is going into politics, but You are sure on the right path if that's what you're trying to get into after acting, man. Well spoken, well spoken. But Jason, man, we appreciate you, man. We love what you're doing. And again, American Soul Day, second season, May 27th. We're gonna tune in. I'm gonna make sure I tune in. I'm gonna make sure all our listeners tune in. And again, man, congratulations on all the success. And if you guys find a little bitty 2-minute part in that new script you writing, call me. Let me know. I'm ready.
Hey, we might need you, Al. We might need you.
Come on, you got me. I work for cheap. I just get me in there. We good to go.
Hey, Al, thank you for having me, man. Really, thank you for having me. And I just want to let all the listeners know that, yes, we premiere May 27th, but currently you can catch up on season 1 on BET On Demand and the BET app, right, and the website, BET.com.
Definitely. And how can our followers follow you on, listeners follow you on social media?
Oh, on all social media platforms, it's just my first and last name, Jason Dirden, JASON DIRDEN.
Again, man, congratulations, man. Thank you again for calling into the show. Again, I'm going to be tuning in myself. So, hey, whenever you're ready to come back on the show, don't hesitate. Give me a call. We'll definitely get you on.
I won't, man. Thank you. And I was reading your post, man. Congratulations on being in so many markets now. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. We've been working. You know, the thing I tell people all the time, we went into quarantine, and I believe we had 72, 73 markets, and now if you want to say we're coming out of quarantine, we're in roughly 85 markets.
That's awesome.
Affiliates in the United States, and we got 38 international markets, and I believe we're probably going to be around 40 or 45 international markets, and we're going to be approaching 100 markets here in the U.S. So, no, we're excited, man. So, as long as I got great guests like you coming on the show, they have no choice but to keep putting me in more markets.
I hear that, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Again, let me know if you need me. We're there. We'll be there to help you. Again, thank you for calling into the Al Rucker Show.
The Al Rucker Show.